I have a great job in a school district where I get to go in any classroom from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, and I help teachers to use technology in the classroom. One of the things I love to present is this lesson on creativity games and creativity exercises. I want students to understand that I do practice creativity in my personal life and in my professional life. So I show them about this game that I made. About 10 years ago I created a game. I made a few copies at Office Max just by hand, and I sold them. And over the years it got better and better as far as how it looks. And in 2010 the game was picked up by a company called Find It Games, and they published this version. They called it Oh Really. You can see it won a few awards. This is a picture of me in the classroom presenting this game because I have created some classroom versions of this. It asks the question, what matters most? On the website Promethean Planet I posted my games, and people all over the world download them and play them. And I started creating some other games as well. Here you can see a picture of some students playing Factor Duel. This is my most popular game right now, and it's for the math classroom. And I post all these things on my blog so that teachers can benefit from my work. Before we get into the exercises and the games, I just want to mention a few things about creativity. First of all, let's just realize humans create. Look at the world, look out the window. When you're going home from school, look around you on the road. If you're in a city, look at the city. Picture what that place looked like before humans came along and started creating things. From vehicles to computers to all of the multimedia entertainment that we can enjoy. Humans create. Humans get ideas. Humans love to see their creation impacting the world. We need creativity to solve problems. It doesn't matter what job you're going to have in life, where you live, how much money you have, you will always have problems that need to be solved. You will always know people that you could help who have problems, and maybe through creativity you can help them solve their problems. And that leads into this. We can enhance the lives of others with our creativity. It might be through entertainment like my games. Maybe my idea can help someone else to enjoy their holiday with their family. But it also might lead to some new idea that helps someone live longer and better in a very important way. And last of all, we can be energized by our creativity. You could do a job with no creativity and maybe get the job done and collect a paycheck. But when you can put creativity into that, when you can put self-expression, new ideas, and your own contribution and originality, it becomes something that you can be passionate about. We can be energized by our creativity. Remember, as I go along, all my talk about ideas, it's not about getting an idea that will make you rich. This is about improving your life and the lives of others. My games do not make me rich. I still have to come into the school district every day during the school year, and I have to work as an educator because my ideas aren't going to pay the bills. But it sure does make it more enjoyable. So let's define creativity. I want to look at a couple things that people said about creativity. First of all, Ken Robinson has studied creativity a lot and how it relates to what we're doing in school. And he wrote a book called The Element. And he put it this way about creativity. He said, creativity is the process of having original ideas that have value. Notice that it does deal with original ideas, but I like this part about that have value. Something is going to result from them. And Steve Jobs, one of the most creative people of our time, said this about creativity. And this is a very informal definition, but he said in an interview that creativity is just connecting things. Your experiences in life plus the problem at hand can result in new ideas. Your experiences will be different than someone else's, and therefore you're going to have ideas that that other person would not have. Steve Jobs said creativity is just connecting all of these experiences that we've had, and he would make original ideas that have value, like the iPad and the iPhone. So to sum this up, I define creativity this way. It's making connections to find new, good ideas. You're going to make connections between things, and you're trying to find new things that didn't exist before, and they have to be good in some way. And just to make a point here, there is a difference between the final product and the many ideas that go into it. Creativity happens all along in this process, but The final product is the goal, and in a way this is an idea in itself. Let's think about it this way. Let's say someone in your school got a great idea that said, you know what, we never thank our teachers enough, so let's have Thank a Teacher Day at the end of this school year. So they get that idea. Now from that core idea, there could be many final products. And it might be one of these or all of these and so many more. But someone might say, let's make a t-shirt. Think about how Thank a Teacher Day, the original idea, turns into a t-shirt. How would it look? You word that differently on a t-shirt than you might on a thank you card. And then at the end of the whole Thank a Teacher Day event, someone might write an article about that for a local magazine or for your school paper. Think about how that article is going to look different than the t-shirt or the thank you card. So many different ideas are going to contribute to that article. So there's the core idea, and then there are the final products that come from that. The steps of creativity that we're going to look at today can be practiced. So let's identify them. First of all, you have to get a good idea first. And I read somewhere that the best way to get a good idea is to get many ideas. The second step is to turn that good idea into a valuable product. Step 2 is really the work. Step 1, that can be kind of fun, especially if you're sitting around with people you like and you're just generating a ton of ideas as you try to find a good core idea. But step 2 is the work, turning it into a valuable product. And these skills are brainstorming, first of all, or what we could say divergent thinking, as we bring in many ideas trying to find that good idea in step 1. Then we have some evaluating, where you are going to judge those ideas and say which one's the best, and we're going to call that convergent thinking. So this is happening in step 2. And then presenting that idea involves many other ideas, a lot of creativity, but that is where you make that valuable final product. Notice that these skills can be practiced. You can get better at these things, and that's the purpose of this presentation. You're going to practice some of these skills. I'm going to encourage you as a class right now to answer this question, and if you have some kind of response device that will show you the results at the end, answer it with the response device. Do you consider yourself to be an artist? I like to ask this question to the classes when I make this presentation, and I first heard about this in a talk that Ken Robinson did. He talked about in kindergarten they would ask this question and they would get almost 100% of those students saying that, yes, I think I'm an artist. But then at the end of the line, like in 12th grade, they would ask high school students, do you consider yourself to be an artist? And they were getting less than 5% saying that they were artists. Somehow 13 years of schooling had taken all of that creativity out of the students, and they didn't even recognize it in themselves. I've worked with middle school students, and so far we're seeing about 55% of the students that I have polled saying that they consider themselves to be artists. Who knows, maybe when they were in kindergarten, all of them thought they were. That's an important sign to me that we need to do more of this in school. We need to teach the skills of creativity, and we need to practice them. Before we actually start the creativity exercises, what I like to do is take kind of a commercial break and play 2 of my classroom games. And your teacher can find these in one format or another online, or you can just make them up using the rules that are on my blog. The first one is based on my game Oh Really, and it asks the question, what matters most? And the other one is based on my game Take Your Pick. Take Your Pick is my most popular game, and it is a game where you get to know the other players. You can try those right now before continuing on to part 2.